Hi students, I'm Sonia from Vidya Guru, starting a new session on current affairs. Happy New Year to all the students who are watching this session. This session will remain in English medium, as you guys can make out. The session is the first one for the month of January. That means we are talking about the entire year. So we are initiating with the first session. Please watch the video till the end. That's going to benefit you a lot. Believe me, have faith in me, because the video is going to be longer than the other videos that you have been watching, because I've tried covering almost all the important aspects of the month. So let's begin from here on. Let's start. As you guys can see, the topic is there on the screen and we are beginning with the most important topic, and that is latest appointments. Let's start with the one. Latest appointments will be beginning with the new RBI governor. So there's a possibility you are already familiar with the name of the person, but please understand that there are certain things that you do not know. So I'll be mentioning all of them one by one. So keep revising all that. So new RBI governor is Sanjay Malhotra. What is important out here? His name, yes, I know, but number 26th is equally important. So he is basically the 26th governor of Reserve Bank of India. So we are actually talking about bank's governor. We are talking about Central Bank of India's governor. Yes, so that is why it is important. Am I going to talk about governors once again? That too, in abundance? No. Although I'm referring to governors, but in a different manner. How? These governors are of the state and not of the RBI, because I feel you are assuming that these governors are from RBI only. I have talked about him. He was the prime, you can say the pivotal character. He was the most important person. His name is Sanjay Malhotra, 26th RBI governor. So you had to watch that. I think I should reduce my speed here, because if I speak, pretty quick, it will be difficult for you to comprehend. I'll go a little slow. Okay, let's start once again. So I was saying that the new RBI governor is Sanjay Malhotra. The important part here is that he is the 26th governor of Reserve Bank of India. As we know, our central bank, that's very important. As you guys are aware that SBI probationary officer PO exam is out. Some sectional officer, exams are also there. Supreme Court, High Court, vacancies of Delhi, they were also there. You know that. Even SBI clerk is also out. So keeping SBI PO and clerk in mind, I have kept, more questions in today's class for banking exam students, those who are preparing for bank exams specifically. For you, the entire session is important. The entire session is very, very important. But even other students who are preparing for SSC, CEDS or any other exam, Supreme Court, High Court, the questions are there for you. But there are certain things that you need not learn, that I'll ask you to, skip them. Otherwise, you have to, watch the entire session. Even this question can be there in everyone's exam. RBI's new governor, 26th number is even that important. Sanjay Malhotra is the name of the fellow. Revenue Secretary. His name is Arunish Chawla. Ajay Seth? No, you need not know about him. I wanted to talk about, that fellow. But one who remained Revenue Secretary earlier, what would you be doing by knowing his name once again? So Arunish Chawla is basically the Revenue Secretary now. You need to be familiar with his name, right? Please highlight these names. So I'm referring to 4-5 states where the governors have got changed. Yes. See, what happens is, for you it is difficult, because if one person is acting as a governor of one state and that person becomes the governor of some other state, the problem is for you, because you are unable to learn the names and associate them with their respective state. It is difficult, I understand that. So from the perspective of a student, try to revise what you learn. VK Singh is the name of the person. He is basically General VK Singh. If you know him, he's a famous, personality. So General VK Singh, Mizoram's new governor. The first in the list, you can see that. The second one, Ajay Kumar Bhalla. Ajay Kumar Bhalla has become the governor of Manipur. Right? Try to write these names alongside, because if I speak quickly, that does not mean that I don't want you to learn. I want you to learn everything before I wrap up. So have faith in me. When I repeat also, there's a reason behind it. And why I do that often? Because I want you to keep their names in your mind. VK Singh, Mizoram. Ajay Kumar Bhalla, Manipur till now, right? The next question. New governor of Bihar, Arif Mohammed Khan. Arif Mohammed Khan, new governor of Bihar. New governor of Kerala. His name is Rajendra V. Arlekar. His name is Rajendra V. Arlekar. The next question is governor of Odisha. His name is Hari Babu Kambhampati. His name is Hari Babu Kambhampati and he is basically the governor of Odisha. When you look at the last question, he is basically chairman of National Human Rights Commission. So I hope you understand this question and such a thing, how important it can be. His name is V. Ram Subramanian, right? V. Ram Subramanian. Let me repeat all these questions for you. That's how you can retain them well. My expectation is like you'll be learning all the names in just one go. And I hope by watching them again, by writing them somewhere, by speaking their names often, you'll be able to retain them for sure. And make me believe that you'll learn all these questions. Latest appointments. RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra, his number is 26th, right? Revenue Secretary Arunish Chawla. Governor of Mizoram. I started with Mizoram. He's General V.K. Singh. Then I went to Manipur and then, no, I did not go to Manipur. I'm just referring to the governor of Manipur. His name is Ajay Singh Bhalla. The third name was Arif Mohammed Khan. He is Bihar's governor. Kerala's governor Rajendra V. Arlekar. Odisha's governor Hari Babu Kambhampati, and he is popularly written as H.B. Kambhampati only. And the chairman of NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, his name is V. Subramanian, Rama Subramanian. That's how you can learn it. Now I'll not be wasting your time at all. I'll just be focusing on a few pointers, and believe me, they are straight away going to be there in your exam. Everybody used to write. People used to watch, videos and they used to write. We got very happy by learning or by reading all that. So when you write the exam, whenever you see the questions that we actually helped us, like we helped you in some way or the other, try to write down in the comment section, come back here, try to write down that, these many questions were there in this or that exam. And please do that. That's how we'll also get motivated that we are getting the relevant content for you, because we know that we are trying our level best to do so. So if you understand everything, you have the option of pressing the like button. Please do that. Share the video with your friends, those who are preparing for any exam. Try to subscribe to our channel, please. That's how you can motivate us. Subscribe to our channel. Don't just watch it, subscribe to the channel. That's how, when you subscribe to the channel, you'll obviously be getting the notifications of all the exam relevant videos which we upload. If you get a job this year, if you want to get a job this year, you can join us as well. The numbers are given below. You can dial, you can speak with the executives. We'll convey, actually, we have a website, online.vidyaguru.in. We have a Telegram channel also, Vidyaguru Official. There we share these questions and other questions also. Like other subjects are also, there. We don't write anything which is basically irrelevant. Whatever we are going to provide you, it is surely going to be there in your exam. So online.vidyaguru.in is the website. You can visit that website. You can join us also. This session will remain in English medium because we have a student base in South India, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh. We have student base there, and in Manipur and in Assam, that means Northeast India. Those who are unable to understand Hindi well, we record the same session, exactly the same one in English as well and in Hindi as well. So you can watch whichever session is comfortable to you. Anyway, let's keep going. Now awards and prizes, guys. The questions are significant, and I told you the video is going to be a little longer one because the information is way more than the other videos. You have to, stay put. You have to watch till the end because you cannot skip one single question today. Believe me. Awards and prizes. As you see, Bharat Ratna is being discussed. 5 recipients are there. All of them seem to be important. One by one, we'll learn their name. The first one is it Karpuri Thakur? Is it the 11th Chief Minister of Bihar? Yes, we are referring to that same person only. The popular thing here is that he was also famous as Jan Nayak. I hope you understand that if such a question is there in the exam, you will feel that somebody else is being addressed. No, Heir Jananayak, 11th Chief Minister of Bihar. He was famous there. He was famous as Jananayak, and he is the recipient of Bharat Ratna. What happens is, even if some time back it was taught by somebody or somewhere you've seen that. The question is when they are announced and when they are actually given. So you have to read them because they remain in news for some time. So Karpuri Thakur, 11th Chief Minister of Bihar. Mr. Advani, and it's not Kiara Advani, it is Lal Krishna Advani, you know that. So Mr. Advani, so he was once like Deputy Prime Minister also, and he's from BJP, you know that, right? And he's from BJP, you know that. Lal Krishna Advani, he's from BJP. Once he was Deputy Prime Minister also, if you're not aware. Chaudhary Charan Singh, famous, farm leader. So farmers, he was very famous among them. So Chaudhary Charan Singh. Now what you're supposed to know. He was also the Prime Minister, P.V. Narasimha Rao. So they were the Prime Minister of the country some point of time. Like at some point of time, they were the Prime Minister. Mr. M.S. Swaminathan, that great personality, Green Revolution, who brought Green Revolution in our country. So his work, basically, it had to be, addressed Bharat Ratna Award. So it was given to 5 recipients who are there on your screen. You can see them. So we started with Karpuri Thakur, then we actually moved on to Lal Krishna Advani, and then Chaudhary Charan Singh, and then P.V. Narasimha Rao, you know him, M.S. Swaminathan also. Then Sahitya Academy Award. Like in Indian languages, when the contribution is immense, the persons who write, the authors basically, they are actually given the opportunity to receive such an award. This happens in all Indian languages. So what happens is when you go and check Sahitya Academy Award, what will happen? They'll give you the names of the people who write in Malayalam, maybe Bangla, or maybe some other languages like Gujarati and all. You need not learn all of them because Hindi and English, they are important. You know that. That is why I'm giving you the names of only these 2. You cannot learn the names of all. So please don't try that. Please don't try that. Sahitya Academy Award 2024 announced. So for the contribution in Hindi language, Gagan Gill in Hindi language. Eastern Kair got the contribution, showed the contribution in English, that is why. So Sahitya Academy Award, Eastern Kair, English, Gagan Gill for Hindi. So their contribution is obviously pretty alright sort of, that is why they are being awarded. The next one is, see, the title was Awards and Prizes. That is why we are discussing awards only. PM of our country got another award, and that award is basically from Kuwait. If you know, highest award like Order of Mubarak al-Kabir, highest honor is given to Prime Minister. So Kuwait is the nation who's being, who's actually awarding our Prime Minister. So the name of the award can be asked. They can ask you even Mubarak al-Kabir is associated with which country. So Mubarak al-Kabir is basically the Order of Mubarak al-Kabir, and it is from Kuwait. Let me repeat that. All that. Bharat Ratna Award, first Karpuri Thakur, 11th Chief Minister of Bihar, known or was famous as Jananayak. Lal Krishna Advani, then Chaudhary Charan Singh, then P.V. Narasimha Rao, and after that M.S. Swaminathan, that Green Revolution, that fellow, great fellow, rightly, received it. Sahitya Academy Award, Gagan Gill for contribution in Hindi language, for his immense contribution in Hindi language, and then in English language, Eastern Kair. PM gets Order of Mubarak al-Kabir, and Mubarak al-Kabir is the highest honor of Kuwait. Please learn that carefully. See, further I'm not speaking much, I'll just be, delivering questions so that you can gain, something out of it. But please stick to it and watch the session properly, because that's how you'll be able to understand that how many questions are there and how important they are. See, just by watching one video, if you are able to get 60 to 70 questions, and all of them I can actually tell you, I can assure you that these questions are pretty important. By watching just 1 or 2 pages, you may have realized that. Even on the prior page, even on, prior to that, the first page where I started, there also the questions were, many. So here also number of questions are there. Golden Globe Awards are important, you know that. Now the categories are there. First you need to understand something. Here the Brutalist was ruling. Brutalist is basically a drama. So the category of drama in which best film, was Brutalist. But the other thing that why I'm saying that Brutalist was ruling, because Adrian Brody was the best actor in Brutalist only, and as it was the best film, that is why best director was also for Brutalist only. So the movie Brutalist is important. So Brutalist, Golden Globe Awards, 3, they received 3. So we'll begin with Brutalist once again. Best film in the drama category, right? Best film in the drama category. Then Emilia Perez. Actually it is the best film also. Now there's a possibility you may get confused. Emilia Perez is basically the film, but that film is in the category of music or musical or comedy films. That is what they say, either musical or comedy. So in this category, films are awarded to. Here we are referring to Emilia Perez film, and Emilia Perez is basically in the category of musical comedy. That their best film is Emilia Perez. Now, as you see, these two categories are important because they are basically the main characters here. So here we have actors. There also in the lower category we have lead actors. So these lead actors were awarded. For that we are starting with the first one. Now Fernanda Torres. So that's basically the best actress in a motion picture drama, but she received it for I Am Still Here. I'm not saying that I am still here. I am still here. Where would I be going? I Am Still Here is basically the name of the drama for which Fernanda Torres received this award, right? Next one is Adrian Brody. Again, the Brody is for the Brutalist, right? Adrian Brody for the Brutalist. It is difficult to learn their names, I know that. If you don't regularly watch English movies, it is going to be difficult. Fernanda Torres or Fernanda Torres, that's how pronounce the name. You can, whichever way you feel, because I haven't watched this woman much, so I cannot tell you the right pronunciation also, but that's how you can pronounce it, Fernanda Torres, and we have nothing to do with the pronunciation, so keep going like that only. Adrian Brody, the Brutalist. Adrian Brody for the Brutalist, lead actor, right? And Brady Corbett, best director for the Brutalist once again. The next one is Sebastian Stan, best actor. But this is a different category. That one was drama, motion picture, right? You can see in a motion picture drama. So that was the category in 2 of them. But the lower one is musical comedy. Name of that musical comedy is A Different Man. The category is either musical or comedy, or it can be both also. So best actor is Sebastian Stan. Demi Moore, she is very, very famous, you know that. So Demi Moore, best actress in a musical comedy, The Substance, right? The Substance. Let me repeat all the names for you. Okay, Golden Globe Awards 2025. The Brutalist was ruling. It was basically a drama, and the director was Brady Corbett, right? So Brady Corbett received best director also for the Brutalist, and the Brutalist itself got some award, that is best film in drama. Then the actor Adrian Brody, that's the name of the fellow, best actor for the Brutalist only. But in the same category for I Am Still Here, that is also a name of another drama for which Fernanda Torres received the best actress award. Let's keep them away. Now Emilia Perez, best film in musical comedy category. Then Sebastian Stan, musical comedy category, Different Man, he got this award. Then The Substance, Demi Moore got the award in musical and comedy category. I hope till here things are clear, and I really believe that you have pressed the like button for sure. You are not just watching the session, you are pressing the like button also. For God's sake, please do that, and do subscribe to our channel if you have not till now. Next one is sports updates. Here the questions are many again, and the questions are pretty significant. You can see and you can realize it. We'll be discussing Pro Kabaddi League also. We'll be discussing Women Hockey Junior Cup as well. See, what happens is when juniors, like women junior hockey, when they win, any Asia Cup when they win. So Asia Cup is one to qualify, for, no, I'm not saying that, and I should not speak like that. What generally happens is when they qualify Asia Cup in hockey category, so they qualify themselves, like when they become the winner, when they become the runner up, like what happened here in Asia Cup, Junior Asia Cup in women's category. So what happened is, in the upper question, as you can see, India defeated China. But where did that happen? It happened in Women Hockey Junior Asia Cup. So women hockey, all these words are important. If you type only Hockey Asia Cup, the results are different because they'll just show you the result for males. Here we are talking about women also. So Women Hockey Junior Asia Cup 2024, and in which India defeated China. So obviously India and China became basically, or you can say they could get the entry in World Cup straight away. That's how they could get the entry in World Cup. So they are actually going to be the they're going to be the teams which are going straight away in World Cup now. So FIH Women's Junior World Cup 2025, Chile is the place where it will take place. While doing such things, the upper question, the first one, they announce such things also. So you have to keep an eye on them, that in Chile World Cup 25, FIH, that means we are referring to International Hockey Federation. So I'm saying FIH Women's Junior World Cup. The word junior is important, women is important. So Women Hockey Junior World Cup will take place in Chile. So Chile will be the host country. We are not talking about that Chile that you understand. Indian women team scored its highest in T20 cricket against West Indies. They are not competing with others. No, they are. I'm just saying that here the competition is they have scored their own highest. So the words are important here. In T20 match, Indian team was playing against West Indies. Then they scored their own highest. As far as I can recall, it was 274 for 4. As far as I can recall, there can be a bit of a change as well, but that does not matter. You need not learn that score. I am just saying Indian women team where Mandhana scored very well. I'm saying Indian women team scored its highest in T20 cricket against West Indies, right? Their own highest, the team's highest. Now first woman to score 4 ODI centuries in one calendar year. For women, they didn't do that. Like 1 year, they are playing one day international. 1 calendar year is completing and one woman scored 4 centuries. That never happened. So she has become the first woman to do so. And her name is Smriti Mandhana. The next question. Fastest Indian pacer. See, when you search, something else will pop up. Here, the word pacer is important. The person is not being addressed as something else. As you know, bowler or something else. Here we are calling him pacer. So word is important. Even in the exam, words are significant. Try to watch them carefully. I'm repeating it. I'm saying fastest Indian pacer to take 200 wickets. Fastest Indian pacers to take 200 wickets in Test cricket. His name is Jasprit Bumrah and he could do that in 44 tests. In just 44 tests, he could get 200 wickets. So he has become the fastest Indian pacer. His name is Jasprit Bumrah. It is basically the shooting federation, International Shooting Federation, so ISSF. I am saying this Junior World Cup will be hosted by India. That actually brings some repute for the country. You know that. This is the Shooting Federation. I'm saying ISSF organizes. See, Indians perform very well in shooting, you know that. So ISSF World Cup 2025 will be hosted by India. And the next question is 11th Pro Kabaddi title. Winner is Haryana Steelers and defeated Patna Pirates. Kids ask me this question, why the names of runner-ups? Things become difficult here. No. Such questions are asked in the exams. That is why I actually teach you the names of the runner-ups as well, those who got defeated as well. Because who remained on the second position, they'll ask you that also. So second position is obviously of Patna Pirates. That's how you have to learn. Let me make you repeat all that. Women hockey Junior Asia Cup 2024, India defeated China. Chile will be the host for FIH Women's Junior World Cup 25. Indian women team scored its highest in T20 against West Indies. Mandhana became the first woman to score 4 one-day international centuries in just one calendar year. Fastest Indian pacer to take 200 wickets, Jasprit Bumrah in 44 tests. He could do that, and we are referring to test matches. ISSF Junior World Cup 25 will be hosted by India. 11th Pro Kabaddi 24 title winner. Haryana Steelers. Kabaddi. Where else? Who else? Haryana Steelers and Patna Pirates got defeated in that. Now banking awareness on your screen. But those students who are not preparing for any bank exam, they can take a break of some time. As you know that these questions are significant for only those students who are preparing for bank exams. For bank exam students, the entire session is important. But for SSC, CDS, Supreme Court, High Court, Kendriya Vidyalaya, whichever exam you are preparing, just skip this much of part. Like this much of the part is not significant for you, because this is basically the banking information. Particularly those who are preparing for SBI, PO and clerk exams. So batches are starting soon. If you want, you can join us also. We'll help you in all possible manners to crack the exam straight away. I hope in 2025 you'll be eligible for any government job and you'll get it. My blessings are always there with you, but let's start with first question. Here in banking awareness, you see that RBI has its bi-monthly policy review. It is published. There's a possibility the change in rates is also there. As we begin with repo rate, see, there'll be a video in which I'll be actually, telling you the meanings of all these terms if you're not aware. But in this video, I have, I can't do that. I'm sorry, because the video is quite long already. So I'll be making such a video in which I'll be explaining all these terms. If you're not aware, I'll try in easier language as well. Repo rate is, for the time being, 6.5%. That is it. Standing deposit facility, which is popularly known as SDF only. So SDF is basically 6.25%. 6.75 is marginal standing facility rate and bank rate. Fixed reverse repo rate. Fixed reverse repo rate is 3.35%. Cash reserve ratio is 4%. Now, whenever you are going for an exam, try to check the rates on the RBI's website only, but just before you leave for the exam, prior to those days, 1 or 2 or 3 days back, you have to check the dates basically, and they are very significant. And please do it on the website of RBI. Please, on the left side, on the RBI's website, you'll be able to see policy rates. There you have to check what is the rate right now. Just a day prior to the exam, please do that. Repo rate 6.5%, standing deposit facility is 6.25%, marginal standing facility and bank rate both are 6.75%, fixed reverse repo is 3.35, 4 is cash reserve ratio. Now, what is important? And I'll be repeating this because I've already repeated them. Gross domestic product, it is GDP, our GDP. See, the projection was earlier something else. Now it is something else. GDP projected by RBI is 6.6% for 25. What we are telling you indirectly is that our GDP growth for FY25 is going to be 6.6%. That is what they say. That's the, that's what they are saying about basically the GDP, and at this pace it will grow. Earlier, to be very frank with you, the growth rate was different. Now it is different. But anyway, you have to learn only this one. RBI introduces name lookup facility for similar to UPI and IMPS in what all, transaction sources. When you type some number, as you can recall, because nowadays UPI and transaction through IMPS is quite common. So you already know that. What happens is when you type somebody's phone number, maybe something else like number also, name also, then you get the entire name. That means after typing the number a few digits, there's a possibility you will get the options of the names then and there. It is called lookup facility. Lookup means to search in English. That means by just typing a few phone number, like a few digits in the phone number, you will be able to get the name of the person. Like once you type the entire number, you get the exact name of the person to whom you are transferring the money. Here it says that we'll be making this facility available for you in NEFT and in RTGS also. Here the payments are huge. Without knowing the name of the person, you are blindly transferring the money to that person. But RBI is making such a thing available for you in NEFT and RTGS also. It is called the name lookup facility. So they can ask you such a question. Kids who are preparing for bank exams, please listen to me carefully. In IMPS and UPI, name lookup facility is already there. When you type the phone number, you get the name of the person, then you transfer the money. I hope you know that. In Paytm, in GPay, everywhere you know that. The same thing will be made available in NEFT and RTGS also. So such a thing is available in these two instruments now. RBI manual on ethical use of AI. See, I'll be talking a little about this because here I'm not finishing it up. It is not getting completed here. You know the use of AI is there. You know the use of AI is there. What I'm trying to tell you here is that use of AI should be done ethically. It is an 8-member committee, will be headed by Pushpak Bhattacharya. So he is Dr. Pushpak Bhattacharya. He is heading this panel. He is the chairman of this panel. Let's continue there on the next page. I've explained these things, quite clear. I need not repeat them. 6.6% for GDP growth financial year 25 by RBI, NEFT, RTGS, name lookup facility, and this Mr. Pushpak Bhattacharya will be heading this 8-member committee which is free of AI in financial sector. Now you must be thinking, how is this lady teaching us that free of AI? And earlier she was talking about being ethical in AI. I am saying free does not mean that what you are thinking. Free has a full form and you can see that full form carefully. It is framework committee. It is framework committee responsible for ethical enablement. Yes, because they are keep on focusing on, like they're just saying that often that AI should be used, but AI should be used ethically. AI should be used, but AI should be used ethically. Free is that. Now, let me repeat that for you. Framework committee for responsible ethical enablement of artificial intelligence in the financial sector. This committee will be headed by Dr. Pushpak Bhattacharya, right? He is the chairman of the committee. RBI, see, everywhere we have to introduce somehow AI, and that is what we are doing gradually. So RBI's decision to link PPI with UPI to enhance payment in interoperability and digital payment adoption. See, PPI, prepaid payment instruments are there, you know them, right? When you have money, earlier if you know what is interoperability, let me explain that a little. Earlier when you have money in an Amazon account, earlier when you have money in Paytm, you were not able to transfer that money to some other wallet, to some other account. Now you need to know interoperability is that, like one app is there, second app is there, they are not able to interoperate. That means if they are not doing it, that means your money is stuck in one account. So when interoperability is there, you can use that portal and pay money from some other portal. That is how things become easier for the customer, and that is what RBI is doing, that interoperability is made available in when you are linking PPI, prepaid instruments, prepaid payment instruments to UPI, when you link that. So that's how you are enhancing interoperability. That is how you are actually asking people to go digital, more and more digital, and that is what everybody is doing. So that is why digital payments are crossing billions and billions every year, you know that. So RBI's decision to link prepaid payment instruments to UPI to enhance interoperability. That means from one app to another you can transfer money easily. That is interoperability. A bank card surpasses 20 million mark. 20 million credit cards. SBI is doing it very, very aggressively. Believe me, when you travel by metro, you have people standing there and they ask you, do you require any SBI card? That is what they do, and that is how they are able to cross that. Although these things are outsourced, not done by SBI, itself, but the mark is significant. 20 million credit cards, SBI. First, BFSI. See, I'll tell you, banking and finance companies are there, but they are not able to make these three things available, like when loan facility is there, when insurance facility is there, when banking facility is there. That these three things are there and at one place they are not available. But Aditya Birla Capital is making it available through one ONDC platform. You can see that through one ONDC platform, three main financial services are there and they are made available by Aditya Birla Capital, and it has become the first BFSI company to do so. Did you get that? Let me repeat all this. FREEZE Framework Committee for Responsible Ethical Enablement of Artificial Intelligence in the Financial Sector. Pushpak Bhattacharya is going to work on that ethical use of AI in financial sector. He is going to head that committee. RBI's decision to PPIs, to link PPIs to UPIs for interoperability, for better interoperability. Bank card to surpass 20 million credit cards, milestone SBI, and three financial services all together on ONDC platform, first BFSI company to do so or firm to do so. It is Aditya Birla Capital, right? The next one is, from here onwards everybody can join. It is the segment of state news. So we are beginning with state news from here on. Every student should watch till the end because that's how you'll get questions in your exam, believe me. India's first Google Safety Engineering Center. See, the video is going to be usually like long, but it is quite, long, that. But questions, after watching just one video, if you get 70 important questions, I think you should watch that. That too at one place. You should watch the entire video. That is what my assumption is. If you get these questions in your exam, you'll appreciate this later on. But I have faith in you. You will surely be telling me also. India's first Google Safety Engineering Center is Hyderabad. But to be very frank with you, for India it is first, but globally Google has 5 such centers and Hyderabad is going to be the fifth one for Google. Let me repeat that. India's first Google Safety Engineering Center and 5th globally is Hyderabad. First, very important question. Zero Waste Airport Project, Indore Airport, right? Indore Airport is basically the Zero Waste Airport project. Like now, recently it is done that Indore Airport is also in that category. Please learn that. Now, see, when they say reuse, recycle, that is what they mean, that is what they are promoting, by doing all that. So that is why 4 hours, Zero Waste Airport project, Indore Airport, right? Mukhyamantri Paushtik Alpahar Yojana. When they say Alpahar, that means they are talking about snacks. Not for us, snacks for kids, basically, those who go to school. So CM Nutritious Snack Scheme is from Gujarat. AI Incubation Center by Army in Bengaluru. AI, Artificial Intelligence Incubation Center by Army, and it got open in Bengaluru. Let me repeat that. See, everybody is adopting AI. So Army is also doing it to make their things better. So AI Incubation Center for Army is in Bengaluru. Learn that, the question is important. India's first glass bridge over Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu. You may have seen Stalin doing that. He was walking there on the glass bridge. CM, I'm referring to the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. So I'm saying India's first glass bridge over the sea in Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu. Central Ayurveda Research Institute unveiled in New Delhi. It is in Rohini, New Delhi, to be very frank with you. Prime Minister himself was there to inaugurate such a big thing, such a big event. So Central Ayurveda Research Institute unveiled in Rohini, New Delhi. A state recently achieved 100% piped water supply under Har Ghar Jal. Under Har Ghar Jal, that means, see, every house, gets water. That should be the aim, that we know. But under Har Ghar Jal scheme, it is going to be the 5th state. So you've read that 100 piped water supply under 100% water supply, like that means I'm referring to piped water supply. As far as I know, 5 states are there. You are going to search the question, you are going to tell me the first state to get piped, 100% piped water supply, and are they literally 5? You're going to type the name of remaining 4. Be sure of it, this question is significant. Under Har Ghar Jal Yojana, 100% piped water supply in Punjab now. The next question after that. Okay, important updates, and as you know that these questions are significant too, because whenever you talk about Confederation of Indian Industry, the questions are asked. So the CII's Partnership Summit took place in New Delhi. The next question is new base year. This is very, very important. Very important, please believe me. New base year for India's GDP is 22-23 now. So what it was earlier, you need not know that. You'll get confused. You'll just get confused. So don't focus on that. What I'm saying is, new base year for India's GDP calculation is going to be 22-23, right? The next question is, 22nd Divya Kala Mela was organized, and there we were promoting vocal for local. It is basically, you know that it's basically vocal for local by the government of India only. That is what they want, that local artisans, local craftsmen, they have to be, you know, promoted. They should get more work, and also local for vocal. That means people should purchase what locally is being made or what locally is being prepared by our countrymen only. So local for vocal for local, that is what they are doing. For that, to promote that, 22nd Divya Kala Mela was organized, and it was organized at India Gate, New Delhi. Viksit Panchayat Initiative. It is basically a project of Mission Karam Yogi. So Mission Karam Yogi is basically a scheme. It is a Viksit Panchayat Initiative is basically the part of it. As the word Panchayat is there, you know it is basically the scheme for Panchayati Raj institutions only. Whenever a question is based or asked on Panchayati Raj institutions, that question becomes important. So Panchayati Raj institutions, Mission Karam Yogi is associated with Panchayati Raj institutions. Yes, they are. Yes, that is. And Viksit Panchayat Initiative is a project of that only. It is for Panchayati Raj institutions. Person of the Year by Time Magazine, Donald Trump. Who else could have been? Wow. So Trump becomes the Person of the Year for 24. Youngest female to conquer 7 summits. So we are talking about 7 peaks. And when we say 7 summits, 7 peaks, that means we are talking about 7 continents. And on each continent, there's a highest peak. We are not saying 7 like they are there in a line, and after climbing Everest, she's coming down or she's climbing some other, you know, the second number or the third number. No, we are not saying that. Kanchenjunga and K2 and all. So we are saying the peak, like in Asia, we know that Mount Everest is there. You know, Kilimanjaro, Africa. Like that, 7 continents have their peaks, the highest peaks. So this youngest girl, has climbed all those 7. So Kamya Karthikeyan, as far as I know, she's from the Army School of, you know, or Army or Air Force School of, you know, Bombay, as far as I know, but that introduction is not required. So she is basically a bright girl, could actually climb 7 summits. That's basically exemplary. First border solar village. Now people will ask me that what is Modhera then? Modhera is also in Gujarat. It is also a solar village. I am saying here we are referring to border solar village. So the word border is important. Try to differentiate when it is said. Border solar village, it is first border solar village. It is in Gujarat and the name is Masali. It has become all solar there. When a village is there, they have, you know, solar availability, sunroof, they have, you know, all that availability. All the appliances are actually connected with solar panels only. That's how they end up becoming solar houses. So by you know, doing all that, first border village, it has become that. It is Masali. Para Athletics World Championship 25 host is India. So that's how, you know, India becomes important. So Para Athletics World Championship 25 will be hosted by India. Understand that, because such things are important. It is a world championship for 25. India will be hosting that. Let me make you revise all that. CII Partnership Summit took place in New Delhi. New base year for India's GDP 22-23. 22nd Divya Kala Mela to promote vocal for local, organized in India Gate. Local vocal for local. So Viksit Panchayat Initiative, a project of Mission Karam Yogi to strengthen Panchayati Raj institutions. Person of the Year 24 for Time Magazine, Donald Trump. Youngest female to conquer 7 summits, Kamya Karthikeyan. And the next one is first border solar village in Gujarat is Masali. Para Athletics World Championship 25 is India, right? India will be hosting the event. And this is going to be the last page for the day. Questions are many. Stay put, watch till the end because each and every question is significant. I'll actually be starting with first question, that is World Braille Day. See, Louis Braille, who developed such a thing? Like who created such a thing? Who invented such a thing? That is Braille. So in his name it has become Braille. Louis Braille is the name of the person who invented it. His birthday is on 4th January. So World Braille Day is celebrated on 4th January. National Bird Day, 5th January. National Bird Day is celebrated on 5th January. This is Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. It is going to happen for the 18th time. You must know that. And there's some date. Is it 9th of January? You have to tell me that in the comment section. Which date when, Mahatma Gandhi returned, to India. So 8th to 10th of January, Pravasi Bharatiya Divas was celebrated and the theme was Diaspora's contribution to a Viksit Bharat. Diaspora's contribution to a Viksit Bharat. That's basically 18th. That's the theme for this year's Pravasi Bharatiya Divas convention, and it is taking place in Bhubaneswar, Odisha, because now BJP has a government there also, so they can organize, such events there, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. And President of Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, she did not come basically, she just became the chief guest. Virtually that happened, she addressed it like that only, she didn't come. Christine Carla Kangaloo, that's the name of the chief guest for Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Christine Carla Kangaloo is the president of Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and this place where this Pravasi Bharatiya Divas event took place was Bhubaneswar, India, Odisha. UNICEF Day is celebrated on 11th of December. Good Governance Day or Sushasan Divas. It is basically Atal Bihari Vajpayee's birthday. If you know, 25th December is the date when we celebrate it. So Sushasan Divas or Good Governance Day. We mean by saying it the same thing. Good Governance Day celebrated on 25th December. National Consumers Day celebrated on 24th of December, a day prior to his birthday. The theme for this year was Virtual Hearings and Digital Access. Virtual Hearings and Digital Access to Consumer Justice. And let's revise all that very quickly. 4 January, Braille Day, World Braille Day. National Bird Day, 5th January. Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, 8th to 10 January in Bhubaneswar, Odisha, where the chief guest was Christine Carla Kangaloo and the theme was Diaspora. Diaspora, that means we are referring to the people who are living abroad, NRIs only. So Diaspora's contribution to Viksit Bharat. Venue, I told you once again, I told you already. UNICEF Day, 11th December, Good Governance Day, 25th December, and National Consumers Day, 24th of December. So with that, we have come to an end of the session. If you liked the video, please do press the like button, and you can buy our course. The numbers are given below. You can actually join our Telegram channel also. You can follow me on Insta also. I'll give you these questions there. Thank you so much for watching, guys.